huge organizations are using this very easy way for the Ignition platform to integrate with other systems. So that's why we say SCADA and so much more. We're coming out of the factory floor because SCADA normally is on the factory floor and isolated to that. So we're seeing the integration now between the factory floor and other business systems.
Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Unofficial Ignition podcast. My name is Jonas. Today we're gonna try and redefine SCADA, and I'm joined by Jan, again, the CEO of Inuda. Jan, SCADA systems are in a slight state of flux. We get a lot of attention from companies that are looking into Ignition as a platform, and they come from a traditional SCADA system. That's what we have decided to call it, a traditional, the old world.
Yeah, that's correct.
What do you see the state of the SCADA world? Where are we and where did we come from?
I think, as you said, SCADA in a state of flux is a good expression. It's changing. SCADA, let's first take the definition. SCADA, SCADA, it stands for, it's short, it's an abbreviation for supervision, control, and data acquisition. So basically, any SCADA system solves three needs. It supervises your processes, means that you as the supervisor can see what's going on. It controls your processes, means that you can actually do something proactively with your processes, send signal or parameters out to your system. And free data acquisition means that you collect data for later user analysis, historical analysis, whatever you want to do. Yeah. So that's basically the three elements of a SCADA system. And it has been like that for a very, very long time. And SCADA systems have been built with that purpose for a very long time.
And then Ignition adds and so much more.
And so much more.
And what does that actually mean?
Yeah, it means so much more. It comes out of the fact that the Ignition platform, the way the Ignition platform is built, is an open platform. Traditionally, many SCADA systems have been built as proprietary systems, which made perfectly sense in many ways. So you had a system that handled your problems, whatever it was, supervision or controlling or data acquisition, on the factory floor. And it was an isolated operation. It was built on its own IT equipment, its own infrastructure, own servers and computers, whatnot. But the Ignition platform is a much more open platform. It integrates with standard SQL environments. It integrates with other protocols, etc., etc. So it's an open platform, which means that yes, it solves the traditional SCADA need or SCADA functionality, if you like. But you can also integrate to standard databases and in that way solve many other problems. So that's why they say SCADA and so much more comes out of that one. So it's an integration between what used to be a traditional factory floor SCADA system and a more business-oriented IT system. As an example.
Right.
Okay. So you are the managing director or sitting on somewhere in a management position in a huge company, and you know that you have a factory floor out here somewhere. The factory floor has its own SCADA system. It works perfectly well, and all the tech people involved in that, they're very happy because it works. But then you say, okay, I would like to compare factory floor A with factory floor B, right, for performance reasons. Then you realize that getting data out of my systems, not so easy. So sitting from where you're sitting, you would say, that's completely unacceptable. The SCADA guys, they would probably say, well, we are happy, it works perfectly. But you cannot compare A and B.
But my position as a business developer can't really get the right data.
Correct. Because it's a proprietary system, it's not transparent, it's not open. So that's the needs coming up today, the business needs coming up today. That's why we talk about the traditional SCADA system and a new way of doing SCADA system. And that's hence the add-on and so much more.
Right.
Because it simply enables you to analyze data and do things in a different way compared to what you normally can do in a SCADA system.
So it's the island structure compared with a more centralized data acquisition
Correct.
structure that you can build IT on top.
Correct.
So you actually connect the real world with your IT.
Correct. And that opens a whole plethora of opportunities, a whole world of new opportunities. Put yourself in the seat of a business developer, as you just said a few minutes ago, where you're saying, okay, so all these what if questions that many companies are struggling with nowadays. What if we did the process in this way instead of that way? What if we produced that way instead of this way? What if we turn things around? Or what if this and that? All of that requires data. And as a business developer or manager, you would say, I need data. Lots and lots and lots and lots of data. The funny thing is, we're talking about big data, we're talking about artificial intelligence, and some are claiming that data is the new gold. There's a lot of gold, a lot of money, a lot of things in data. But if you cannot get your data in a very smooth and easy way out of the factory floor,
right,
then you're kind of struggling.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult.
So what actually happens is that you take the island structure and you sort of centralize it, and you collect data, and you create an environment where you can create or make better management and business decisions. And is that then a totalitarian system where they decide everything in the board? Or
it sounds like that when you explain it this way. Now the fact is, it's good for everyone, because what you create is a more open platform, a more democratic platform, if you like, but a platform also because of the license model of Ignition with unlimited clients, unlimited users, if you like. So what happens is that everybody in the organization gets access to everything. So the guy on the plant floor, he has access to the things, and you as the business developer, or the people sitting in finance, or the people sitting on the other side of the planet, you have access to the same thing. So in many ways, you can say, yes, it's centralizing things, but at the same time, it's empowering people to actually do their work in a better way.
So they can use data to create a better work environment for themselves.
Exactly. Because, as an example, one of our clients, a district heating company, you have the guy who is driving around in his car doing maintenance on pump stations. He has a pump station and he knows there's something wrong. Right? There's something wrong. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but he has an idea, because normally these guys very close to the process, they have an idea. Yeah. So, but he needs some data.
Right.
So if you can empower him in a very easy way to download the data and get access and do some charts or some graphs immediately to analyze data, he's empowered.
He knows exactly what to do instead of
that's correct.
Having to spend the whole night driving to a plant, maybe, if the alarm is during the night. Right?
Exactly. That's another example of ours. Yes. Recipe management is something that's getting big. It's part of the SCADA and so much more. So recipe management would be an integral part of so much more. Recipe management, think about it as you have a huge pharmaceutical company. You manufacture something, pills, whatever you're doing, several places on planet Earth, and you want to make sure, for legal reasons of course, that you're using the same recipe and the right recipe every single time you produce something. Traditionally that would be in your SCADA system or whatever, placed locally. But if you have that centrally and you simply push that to the local SCADA system every time something is produced, then you're sure there's compliance all the way through. You have transparency, you have compliance, and you're sure that your recipes are updated and they are maintained, and you know exactly what's going into each and every recipe, and it's much easier to document what you're doing. So that's an example of things we've been involved in. where huge organizations are using this very easy way for the Ignition platform to integrate with other systems. So that's why we say SCADA and so much more. We're coming out of the factory floor because SCADA normally is on the factory floor and isolated to that.
Right.
So we're seeing the integration now between the factory floor and the isolated needs there with other business systems, being ERP for financial systems or whatever it might be, typically something based on a database environment. So the integration, that's a big thing.
Excellent. Well, I think that's it for today, Jan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for talking with me, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.